The following show contains views and opinions that may not be suitable for all audiences. Audience discretion is advised.
The episode you are about to hear is rated O for Oh My God. Howdy, everybody, and welcome to Thespian Talk. I am your host, Gomer the Ranting Thespian. With me this week is Scolipendra.
Hello, guys.
And also Michelle.
Hello.
So interesting thing happened. This is like a little. This is like a little. In the grand scheme of things, not as important, but it's amusing to me and probably at least one other person on this show, and we'll understand why. I listen to the It's Super Effective, the Pokemon podcast, which comes out every week, and at the end of every show, they have a Pokemon of the week, which has lately taken the form of one of the hosts, Will, describing a Pokemon in some different way, and the one he read out for last week, not this previous week that we're on, but the one before. He made all these descriptions, and I'm like, I know that Pokemon, and it turned out to be Scolipede, which I thought, you know what, yeah, and the dead giveaway was apparently he used Scolipendra, which, gee, I know that name. He didn't use it as a name, but you know, it was based on something else. But I just thought that was amusing.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, I got a cough.
Yeah.
I'll edit that on
flying
post.
everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of where I got my name from.
Yeah. So
I just sort of mashed up its English name and its Japanese name.
There you go.
Yeah.
But you know, Scolipede is decent. I personally don't use it. I don't have much use for bugs on my teams, but I might give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, as far as bug types go, it's pretty damn awesome.
Yeah, no doubting it, definitely. But yeah,
yeah.
I gravitate more towards dark types and fire types. A little bit of psychic and fairy.
Nice. Usually for me, it's more water types.
Yeah.
But Gomer, what is your favourite Pokemon types?
My favorite Pokemon type? Yeah, I just listed them off.
Yes.
Sometimes you make making jokes very hard.
Yeah. I mean, it's... Let's see. Oh, his favorite type is dark type. Gee, I wonder what his favorite Pokemon is. Yes, it's Umbreon. Gee, what? Gee, who could have thought? So that little bit, so Scully, how have you been the past couple of weeks since the last time you were on?
Oh, I've been okay, but I've been kind of coughing a lot. I think it's asthma. I'm gonna go get that checked out. Really hope it's not, the thing, but it's not really likely.
Yeah. We're still over here in America dodging the COVID as much as possible, even though so many people are sitting there like, well, mask is infringing upon my liberties, and it's like, no, not in comparison to us not wanting to catch the COVID from your stupid ass.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so yeah, this is kind of an old cliche saying, but yeah, the right to swing your fist ends where my face begins, and I think that that applies to potentially spreading a deadly disease.
Yeah, and sure.
How do we know it's that deadly? That's just media telling you that. That's from Hollywood. That's what that's coming from. We don't know it's actually deadly.
Unless it's the goddamn scientists, that's what you do. But it's like, oh, it's coming from the media. And where do you get your news? From media, isn't it? Whether it's social media, whether it's CNN, whether it's Fox News. And CNN, by the way, I gotta call them out a little bit because they put out a headline recently. I think it was like in the last day or two, where they're saying that despite all the protests, that nothing is happening. All that, even though things have happened, there's steps in the right direction, and I'm talking about with the police, not all of this other stuff that they put out there just to try and placate everybody, which we'll get into in a little bit. But CNN's like, nothing's gonna change, and it's like, really, guys, really, do your research, guys. But no, apparently, whoever's running the media conglomerates are tired of protests, they're tired of COVID, so we move on to other things. But which, by the way, as of this recording, there are still protests going on, and even a sad bit. How they have the occupied zone up in Seattle, up until like this morning, because the mayor of Seattle was like, "Yeah, hey piggies, go feast," and so they did, and they're driving them out because they're fucking pigs, and if I remember right, they gave up that area. The cops gave up that area, and so it's like, hey, you know what? Free real estate. Fuck you guys. But now suddenly the cops want it back, and they think they should be entitled to it. No. If they were a decent, and benevolent organization to begin with, we wouldn't be in this position, most likely. So but I mean, what do I know? I'm just some fat ass on the internet. Oh god damn. But yeah, protests are still happening out there, and of course you got people, and I saw this trending in Florida, people saying, using the hashtag All Lives Matter. It's like, no, clearly they don't, because too many people are taking the lives of minorities, and right now we're focusing on black people. We're they're taking them for granted, and thus you're saying with your actions, no, these lives don't matter. So if you're going to act like that and to come at us or anybody else with this all lives matter bullshit, go fuck yourself. It's really as simple as that. I kind of got a little bit away from it there. Michelle, how have you been?
Pretty good, thank you. Yeah, life. My coughing is mostly because I'm currently eating as well. I've got pork chops and Chinese style rice for my dinner.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
So, a couple of things. One, so the last couple of weeks we've been saying about, Michelle's got a nice new mic. Oh, well, that's nice. It occurred to me because of conversations that Gomer was kind of aware of with our friend Zenith, that my recording might not have actually been as good as it could have been, because some dumbass forgot to change the input on the recording device. So this might actually, dear listener, be the first episode we go, it does sound better. So please enjoy. Secondly... sorry.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, secondly is a completely different thing, so you go on.
Okay, I was just going to say, I consider it more of like stepping up. So it's like... Yeah. So it's like the past week or two, or however many times we've noted it before, they were better than previous ones, and it's just gotten better. So,
see, I'm not sure if I had the right setting before, so I don't know if I was just shouting at the internal mic, and that's why it just came up when I was doing the lines.
Yeah.
For Zen, because obviously the lines, I'm speaking them softer anyway. Maybe that's part of the problem.
Maybe.
But let us know in the comments if you are noticing a notable difference in my voice quality, because I'd be interested.
Yeah.
But secondly, I had heard of this app before, people talking about it, but recently my sister was telling me that her youngest, because he's in the age group that can't go back to school till September, I was just basically asking how's it all going, how's his education going, and how is he keeping up with it. And she goes, yeah, we've been doing this, like his dad's helping with this and I can help with that, but some of it he can just get on with because they give them modules over the internet and they just send them off when they're done. So I said, so what about his German? Because I know she studied German at school. I said, so have you been using it as an excuse to practice yours? And she's like, no, he's got Duolingo and he's been doing that every day. So I thought, I had heard of Duolingo before, and I promise you we're not sponsored. We wish we were, but we're not.
Yeah.
I had heard of it before, like other YouTubers and people saying, oh, Duolingo is a thing. But it's the first time I knew like someone in like the meat space that like actually used it and like said, oh no, he's the 13, they're now 13-year-old. It gets on really, really well and it's actually keeping his education going. So I thought, all right, I'll give it a poke. So I installed it. I set it to learning Spanish. It asks you, like, are you an absolute beginner or have you done it before? I had done a couple of years at school. So it gives you a test. It says, right, here, let's do a little test. Let's see where you're at. And I actually remembered way more than I thought I had. So I was quite impressed with that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I've been doing it on day 4 now. Like, I've done my daily for today. Just on the very basics at the moment. But obviously, you know, tomorrow will be travel. And because there's 2, once you've done the intros, it opens up 2 mods. Like two next parts. So I might switch between the 2. Like do travel one day, food and drink the next, and then keep alternating them till I finish those mods and then go on to the next lot.
Cool.
So that's what I've been doing. I've been learning.
She's been learning, doing the learnings. And we've all been learning things. We're learning over and over that the cops are bastards. Because I've mentioned before, my friend Mel, who does the masks and the doobly-doos and all of that, she's been keeping abreast of what's going on in Portland, considering that's where she lives, and all this shit is happening practically in her proverbial backyard. And I mean that almost literally. She just doesn't have a backyard. But, you know, cops firing at protesters who are peaceful, cops firing at reporters and other people who are recording shit, stealing phones because, oh no, how dare you try to hold us accountable. So, yeah, we got them. But, you know, and of course it brings up, you know, matters of free speech because, yeah, guess what they're violating? But of course, the people who whine the most about free speech and tend to also get traction, it seems to get more traction than people like us do, you know, they have themselves a new platform. Have either of y'all heard of Parler? Parler.
I have not.
No.
Okay. So I have heard of it, and I've found an article that was just posted the day we're recording this. For those who want to know, July 1st, if you want to look up the article yourself. July 1st, 2020, if you want to find the article. And it says, with Twitter cautiously moving towards limiting the spread of potentially harmful and misleading content by introducing new fact-check or warning labels on some tweets, including Trump's, when someone breaks platform rules, such as inciting violence or spreading misinformation, many right-wing and far-right-wing commentators have decided to move to a new social media platform called Parler. The epitome of, screw you guys, I'm going to go start my own social media with blackjack and hookers.
So it's basically Gab 2.0.
Yeah. The app is co-founded by co-chairman of youth group Students for Trump, Ryan Fournier, who calls it a platform where you don't have to worry about getting censored or banned because you think differently than who runs it. Keep this in mind, it will come back into play later. Several high-profile conservative politicians and speakers have jumped ship for the promise of a place to discuss ideas about censorship, including Ted Cruz. Because of course he does. And of course people are following him. And it turns out, it might not be the free-for-all Wild West promised, however, with many people reporting they'd been banned by the platform already. I'd seen a few of them go in there and just say a thing like, oh, hey, I've been silenced. Like, you know, they got banned from Parler. One dude, literally less than 30 minutes. And the Devin Nunes's cow Twitter account tried to go over there, and you know, it mentioned that they were banned from Parler. We're posting a picture of a cow holding up a sign that says "Devin is a loser."
What?
Yep, he got banned from Parler on that one. Also,
remind me who the snowflakes are again.
I know, right? And there's another one. That got banned from Parler for parodying Margaret Thatcher.
What?
Oh.
What?
They were parodying Margaret Thatcher for whatever reason, and they got banned from Parler for it.
I mean,
Wow.
she's been dead a long time, so joke's kind of old now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if I could go over there and parody Reagan. And I'd probably get banned for that, which is fine.
Oh boy.
I'll be does it say what the parody was? Because I'm kind of curious now.
It's not shown in this tweet, no, that they posted.
Fair enough.
It would appear that there are in fact rules and moderators to enforce them, just like every other social media platform out there. Gee, who would have thought? as well as people being banned for apparently being a bit left-wing. So much for free speech. Remember from the top. Remember from the top. Uh-huh. For those with shorter attention spans, I'll remind you, you should not have to worry about getting censored or banned because you think differently than who runs it. But yet,
Speak for me, but not for thee.
Yep, the CEO of Parler already has a CEO. Wow, has gone into some more detail of what can earn you a silencing, and oh boy, they are quite something. As posted by John Matzi, and I think this is an actual Parler post, yeah. To the people complaining on Twitter about being banned on Parler, please pay heed. Who uses that language? I mean, in a non-acting manner.
Someone's
I don't
trying
even
to sound
do that.
clever.
Yeah. Here are the very. Go ahead.
I have occasionally, but I'm British, so I can get away with it.
Yeah. Yeah, but this guy's presumably American, considering he has the American flag next to his name. So, here are the very few basic rules we need you to follow in Parler. If these are not to your liking, we apologize, but we will enforce. When you disagree with someone, posting pictures of your fecal matter in the comment section will not be tolerated. What? Why is that the first one?
I guess someone did it.
Apparently, but...
How many someones for that to be the top rule?
Maybe. Well, considering these guys, probably just one. I mean,
I get it. I don't want to see that either. But, yeah, rule 1? What?
Like, oh, God. It's like, I've never even thought to do something like that. And trust me, I've had plenty of opportunity. But I like to be a little bit more clever than that. Your username cannot be obscene, like cum dumpster. But what?
Fair enough.
Okay, but what about somebody who is proud of being a cum dumpster? What about that? You know. And speaking of cum dumpsters, boy, that's a bad segue, but I'm running with it. No pornography. Doesn't matter who, what, where, when, or in what realm. So, yeah, no sex workers going in there and promoting their stuff. Can't do that. You know, so much for free speech. So much for free speech. We will not allow you to spam other people trying to speak with unrelated comments like "fuck you" in every comment. It's stupid. It's pointless. Grow up. But you're silencing people. It's a place you're not supposed. It's a place where people can go to where they don't have to worry about being silenced, John. You cannot threaten to kill anyone in the comments section. Sorry, never ever going to be okay. That at least is something. That is, I don't think anybody's going to disagree with that unless they're fucking murderous sociopaths.
Yep.
Unless they consider something like bash the fash to be a death threat.
Yeah, in which case, that's not a death threat. That's
just, no.
The rules make you wonder about the quality of clientele they are attracting. When you disagree with someone, and it just goes over the thing. And they mentioned that adding pornography isn't allowed, and they say, sorry, Ted, as in Ted Cruz. Because for those who don't know, his official account, somebody went and looked in his likes for whatever reason, and there was a like of a still from a scene from Reality Kings, which, for those who don't know, is a porn site. And it just, I saw the scene itself. The scene itself was hot enough, but, you maybe not want to do that on your official account there for if you're in that much of a position of power,
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because that combined with basically Ted Cruz basically wanted to ban sex toys, and the thing that he said was, "You do not have the constitutional right to stimulate your genitalia."
What? Bullshit.
He said that. He fucking said that.
Guess what? Whether or not it's constitutional, it is a human right, and that trumps your constitution right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will stimulate my genitals all I want, Teddy.
And apparently he's been doing that.
Yep. Okay.
I've not actually read the Constitution. Where does it say that?
It doesn't. There's nothing in there about masturbation. Oh.
I mean, the Bible,
Unless-
again, I don't think it actually says it explicitly, but the Bible at least would have made some more sense because, everyone says it's, all the bad stuff in the Bible. You can't do this, can't do that.
Yep.
Constitution.
Well, he thinks. Well, Ted Cruz is stupid enough to believe that the Constitution includes the Bible.
Yeah, those people that think that America is a Christian nation when it never was. Oh God, Becky showed me one of those like 80s scaremongering videos. One of those where
the Satanic Panic stuff.
it wasn't Satanic Panic in particular, but it was. Well, I guess it's kind of in the same genre, but
Yeah.
But it was this guy going over, like, your kids are learning things like yoga and how to relax and open their minds. And it's like, teaching kids how to de-stress, asshole! And they spent 9 hours, and they spent a whole 9 hours watching cartoons. Yeah, because you went and tested them on the weekend, asshole!
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all, but in the late 80s, early 90s... because that's the time frame when I was a kid and at the right age group too. Sorry, I didn't watch cartoons for 9 hours a day on a weekday. On the weekend maybe, and even then, no. We had video games, and they dive into that too. It's like he looked at the instruction booklet for Final Fantasy of all games, and he's like, they're telling you how to cast the spells. Yeah, in the game, you just press A. That's literally it. And like kids will try them in real life and all of that, and it's like kids who try that in real life get a really rude awakening really fast, usually by their parents smacking them upside the head, say, "Hey, don't do that, dumbass." I don't condone that, by the way, but still.
I've checked. Neither Accio nor Alohomora work in the real world.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff you see in video. Yeah, go ahead.
I have to say, Accio, that's a useful spell.
Yeah.
That's the summoning spell.
Yeah. And I've been playing D&D more. One of my favorite things to do, I play a bard. I like using Vicious Mockery because I like ranting monsters to death, and I have done so a couple of times, which is amazing.
Nice.
So, just, what the hell, y'all?
Insert Monkey Island reference here.
Yeah. And the last thing they note in this article is the lines drawn by Parler just happen to be different to Twitter in that they appear, so far, to be more concerned with banning people who swear than raging homophobes, racists, and transphobes. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, well, you can say all the bigoted, hateful shit you want, but God forbid you say the fuck word.
Yeah. It reminds me, I think it was like the South Park movie. Like, all the way back. This was, bear in mind, this is back like 99 or so. When Bigger, Longer, and Uncut came out, and it was Sheila Bravlovsky who said, just remember what the MPAA says. Horrific, deplorable violence is okay as long as people don't say any naughty words.
Yeah.
Some people, do some people realize that that's meant to be, taken as a jab at the MPAA's double standard? And not meant to be used as a guide to life?
Apparently not.
Just gah. So yeah, so we've got 4 more of these things on the meme list. Past few episodes, we've been going over 4 of them out of this list of 64. And originally, what it's supposed to be, if you see it on Twitter, you like it, and the person's supposed to give you an opinion on things. Preferably going from 1 to 64. We're going in reverse because we want to be different. And the next one up on the list is universal health care. I think
yes.
Get it.
Yes.
Get it. Get it.
Do
Have
it.
It's
Yes.
good.
Yes. We need it.
God.
Especially now with the corona times. We need this shit. We need this shit so everybody can live. Because here's the thing. Let me put it like this to anybody who decides, hey, I'm going to take this show and show it to a CEO, because why not? In fact, I encourage this. let me try and speak the CEO language, okay? Because they see people as cogs in the machine that are replaceable. Well, let me tell you something. If your supply of cogs is not replaced at a fast enough rate, you're going to lose money. If your supply of cogs can't work for you, your machine breaks and you're going to lose money. So at the very least, you need to make sure your workers are happy and healthy. That way they will be willing to work for you. That includes making sure that they are taken care of physically, mentally, financially. Because guess what? If you're worried that, they might go find something else, or they might not work or whatever, if they get paid this much from the government or from wherever else, then maybe you can put the effort in to do more to entice people to come work for you. Because let me tell you something, there would be jobs that I would not mind working if the conditions were better, especially if they paid more. So, and I'm sure, I know I'm not the only one who thinks this. And to tie into universal healthcare, there's also the universal basic income, which would also help just overall. And again, maybe it would open up competition between businesses saying, oh, hey, we do this, we allow this, and all of this. And it's like, jobs, you could literally have just jobs out there for the picking, and people can pick and choose if they choose to work. And there will be people that like to work. You can't stop them, like Grandpa Vanderhoff said, and you can't take it with you. Inventions, and they fly the ocean. There'll always be people to do it. There'll be people to go down to goddamn Wall Street, too. Because they like to do it. And that's what we should really strive for. Bear in mind, this show, this play was written during World War II. So it is like 70, 80 years old at this point. It's as old as the damn main character. Well, one of the main damn characters. So it's an old show. And people and they got it at that point. And it's like, hi! That's what everybody should want. But, until we get there, we gotta keep protesting. We gotta keep shouting. We gotta keep ranting. We gotta keep, doing all of this shit. To force the rich people to say, hey, assholes, stop hogging it. And that includes our health care. Which I'm bringing it right back around to because, again, without universal health care, if we, the people in the lower 99%, can't pay to be healthy, we're fucked.
Yep.
Can I, sorry, as a representative of someone in a country who has the universal health care, one of the arguments I see a lot, I think I mentioned before, I'm on Quora, which sometimes is funny. Like, sometimes you just read the question, you think, what the hell? What is your why? And then you get really sarcastic answers, and that just makes me laugh. Yeah. But one of the things, a couple of there's things about waiting times, and they said, no, actually, that's usually for elective surgery. Mm-hmm. Like if you take ER, A&E for example, like if I break my leg here, I'm going to be rushed off to hospital. They're going to set it for me. I'll get to stay in as long as the doctors feel is necessary. And then I'll get to go home again, possibly with some medication or a prescription to pick some up when I get, when I go to the supermarket. Yeah. And at most, I'll be paying, maybe taxi fare if I decide to take myself along rather than wait for the ambulance, but more likely wait for the ambulance. Mm-hmm. So maybe taxi fare, but at most, £9 if they don't give me a prescription in hospital. If they give me the prescription in hospital, then nothing. Yeah. I had that same accident in America. I didn't want to know how much it cost.
Well, it'll cost you your leg, that's for sure.
Yeah, so on the basics of if you're in an actual emergency situation, there ain't no waiting times. There's triage. Like if a kid choking on a penny comes in after you, your leg's not as important as that kid choking. That's fair enough. Yeah. Or, so that's what, if you understand what triage is, that's fine. I'm not going to die from my leg unless there's something in there that shouldn't be, that could cause gangrene. Yeah. But if you're talking about other medically needed surgeries, as far as I know, because thankfully the last time I needed surgery, it kind of fell under urgent again because I had something under my arm that was getting bigger and I needed to remove it straight away. So I was in the hospital within a day of having seen my GP. unless it's like elective, or there is a genuine queue of people that just happen to be before you for a non-life non-life-saving surgery that isn't necessarily elective, if that makes sense, then there might be a bit of a queue there. Like, or because I know my aunt is having something done to her stomach. I think possibly the same thing Ariel's having done, or similar.
Yeah, right.
So stuff like that, where you're going to need to prepare your body first. Again, there's going to be waiting time. Again, how much is the cost? Taxi fare, medication when you get home. You know, maybe like your family giving you presents. You know, that's going to cost them a little bit of money. But that's again fine, cool. So yeah, but on the it's going to cost. I'm going to have to pay my taxes and like all this. Well, first of all, we have pay as you earn, which means our taxes deductions are taken away straight away. So you get the money, every penny you've earned, and then they take off. You owe this much to the national insurance, you owe this much to other tax, up this much to any other schemes that you're a part of, and then you get your take-home pay, which means you don't have to worry about making sure you got money at the end of the year for your taxes, which in itself is great.
So it sounds similar to how we do paychecks over here, for the most part. Similar, obviously not the same.
I always went because doesn't it always sort of work itself where you have to file taxes manually? I've never understood that.
We do have to do it manually, but I'm talking just like regular person paycheck to paycheck, because they do take money out. They take money out for just regular payroll taxes. They also take out for like Medicare, Medicaid, and all of that to put that into that pot. And then I think there's one other one. It might be two Medicaid ones. I don't remember. It's been a while since I looked at a paycheck, and I didn't think I'd be talking about it. but that's okay. That's okay. But we have all that, and then we still have to file our own taxes come, usually April, but this year's been extended because of the coronavirus. Which, jokes on them, I did mine in January or February. I did mine before I went to go see Becky back in February. That's how long it's been. But the way you're talking to like they just take it out and you don't worry about it.
That's it. That one, like how I'm going on a monthly pay packet. It's all taken out and you don't have to worry about it again. Self-employed, different matter. They will have to worry about it themselves.
Right.
But if you're on a salary or any kind of wages that you are being paid by another person on the regular, that's it's all taken care of. Yeah. Which means you don't notice it gone because it's already gone. You're not even worrying about it. Yeah. And you know what else? You don't have to pay anything on top for special medical care unless you've got elective surgery. Like if I had laser eye surgery, then that I'd pay for separately, or dental care. But again, I think even those prices are like way lower. Yeah. So for you to turn around and say, for people to use the excuse of, but my taxes, they'll take taxes away from me, and who's going to pay for it? I think I crunched the numbers with Aaron once. It's like the amount I pay in national insurance compared to how much he would have to pay in like copay or insurance or whatever, whatever it is. Because I don't even, because like it's a million different types of insurance as well, isn't it? Yeah. It's like it's at minimum 4 or 5 times more than you're paying for something you might not use, but you have to still pay. It's like, and I'm not paying for other people. Like, bitch, shut up.
Yeah, you pay for other people to begin with. That's literally all it is, and they're usually the ones that don't need to get paid. Because that's
to sum it all up.
Go ahead.
Just to sum it all up, skeptics out there who think, well, where's the money going to come from? Are you going to tax us more? Yes, but ultimately, those taxes will be less than you're paying out manually for insurance.
Yeah.
Crunch the numbers.
Yeah. Just goddamn people. And hey, and if we're really worried about tax money, people being taxed and all of that, we have a simple solution, or at least I do. Tax the super rich, make them pay for it. And if they want to walk, then, we have these lovely guillotines over here. And if they don't comply, we can just put them in there. Which is where that couple from St. Louis needs to go. threatening people marching down their public street because they don't like the sound of black people protesting, apparently. And they're fucking wusses. Anyway, the next one up is the USS Liberty incident. And for those who don't know, that was an attack on the U.S. Navy, on a U.S. Navy technical research ship, the Liberty, by the Israeli Air Force jet fighter aircraft and Israeli Navy motor torpedo boats back on June 8th, 1967, during the Six-Day War. So, long story short, the Liberty incident is basically Israel attacked the Liberty, and then they realized, oh shit, that's the United States. And the leadership all got together and we realized, okay, this looks bad, but we're going to call it an accident. We're gonna call it an accident, even though you attacked us in international waters. We're gonna call this an accident because you didn't know this, and then they're survivors of the attack are like, yeah, we think it was deliberate. Because I don't see how you could not notice it. It's in international waters. Maybe hail them first, because you had radios in the 60s.
Yep.
Just what the hell is wrong with you people? There's my thoughts. What do y'all have any thoughts on it? Or?
Yeah, they definitely knew. I haven't heard of it, but yeah, they definitely knew.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I am reminded of that joke where the U.S. naval ship is approaching a light, and it turns out it's Canadian. And there's a lot of back and forth about how the U.S. Navy is like, you better move because like we're the U.S. of A. and we're all powerful with all this, and the Canadians like, well, we're not moving. We can't. Well, you gotta move. Like we're like, no, I'm just gonna keep coming forward, and if you don't move, then that's up to you. And the Canadians is like, well, good luck. We're a lighthouse.
Yep, I've heard different tellings of that story, but yeah, it's like fucking idiots.
I truncated it a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, oh lordy, fucking people. So the next one up is Pridenstrovi, or Pridensstrovia. Officially the Pridenstrovian Moldovan Republic, or PMR, which is basically one of those Wikipedia calls it a breakaway state. That's in the narrow strip of land between the Dniester and River and the Ukrainian border, and it's internationally recognized as part of Moldova, but it also wants to be seen as its own sovereign nation, which most of the world is like, no, you're part of Moldova. The way I see it is, let them have their own thing, man. Because to put it very shortly, they're basically like, we are declaring independence for Moldova, and everybody's like, no, fuck you, you're part of Moldova. We reject that. It's like assholes. It's almost like it's like Hong Kong. Hong Kong should be their own thing, but they were passed from the Brits to the Chinese, and now the Chinese are cracking down and saying, oh, you can't say this thing about us or this thing or whatever. And it's like, But, yeah.
When did that happen?
Let's see. It was after the dissolution of the USSR, tensions between Moldova and the breakaway Transnistrian territory escalated into a military conflict between March 92 and concluded by July of the same year. As part of the agreement, a three-party joint control commission consisting of Russia, Moldova, and Transnistria. I tried it, but this place in question, the three-party joint control commission supervises the security arrangements in the demilitarized zone, comprising of 20 localities on both sides of the river. Although the ceasefire is held, the territory's political status remains unresolved. It's basically, it's like I said, it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, we gotta.
I'm good good luck to them. If they want independence and if that's what they voted for, then good for them. But 2, I was wondering about the year because I'm wondering, is that what the Red Dwarf joke reference was when Crichton takes a hammer to the head or something, and he's like, "Win self determination for the South Moldavian people," or I can't remember the exact quote, but he's basically saying, self determination for Moldovans. I'm like, is that? Now you've told me all this stuff that I didn't know before. Is that what that was referencing?
Could be.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
Basically, good luck to them.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and that's pretty much all I can say. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
Hope it works out.
Yes. And last one for today, number 45, open plan offices. Our insurance office, at least the one here in town, there's one in another town, but the one here in town is kind of open plan. Just by necessity, it used to be a video store, but it's not horrible. But
is that
it's also
to cubicles?
Yeah, I think so. And bear in mind, it is this is based on my own experience, because I've experienced that through our agencies and everything, but also through but I've also experienced the cubicle, because at one point I worked at a call center until I decided I didn't want to do that anymore, and just fucked off all over the place. I was shit at quitting at that particular point. Let me just put it that way. But I've experienced both, and cubicles, all right. You got your own little wall space and everything. Got your own little private area. You can do what you need. Open plan, you don't have as much privacy, so it would depend on how you feel about it. If you're one that would prefer to have your own space, just enclosed, so you can shut everything out and so you can concentrate, then an open plan office would not be for you, obviously. Some people can handle it, some people can't. I think that I think there should at least be options for people who want to work in places that have office spaces or what have you. Cubicles or open plan, let the people decide on that one. That is something you really should let the people decide. Just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, based on my experiences, for me, they either way will work. But at the same time, I know neither of them are for everybody. So says me who has only the office, one office, and it's just me in here. So it's a solo plan office. Ha!
Cool.
Yeah.
So y'all got any thoughts on it, or?
Not really.
Personally,
Sorry, go ahead.
Personally, I'd rather just have my own cubicle, because I've got a big thing about privacy and stuff. So I mean, I don't think an open plan office would work for me. But I mean, if it works for someone else, I mean, more power to them.
Yeah.
I've never actually worked an office job, but I was a cleaner in the office once, and it was mostly open plan. It looked quite nice.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of even a wall, just to pin a couple of things up, or just either a couple of little inspirational pictures, or maybe a personal planner or something that will help you. So I can see the benefit of having at least a wall, just something to put things on. Mm-hmm. But I also can get a little claustrophobic, so yeah, I can see the arguments for both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one should not be forced into one or the other. I think that's the big takeaway coming out of this one, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think if you're going into a new environment and it's either one way or the other, then you suck it up. That's the environment. But if they present an option, then good for them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, we're gonna suck it up and we're gonna take our break. And when we come back, we'll have some news. OMFG. Mm-hmm. Stick around. Hey folks, we'll get back to the show in a moment, but first I want to tell you about Patreon. Patreon is what I use to get around all of the YouTube adpocalypse bullshit, and while I don't have a lot right now, every little bit does help. And if you like what you hear or what you see on any of my videos or podcasts, head on over there. For as little as $1 a month, you can get all of these things early before anybody else does, and you can get them completely ad-free. Yeah, I know YouTube right now is technically ad-free, but At some point, I'm probably going to get big enough to where ads will start coming in, and those can be annoying, so you want to avoid that, right? If you go ahead and go now over to patreon.com/gomer21xx, leave $1, $5, doesn't matter how much, you can get all of these. Again, you can get them early, and you get them without ads, even when I reach the point on YouTube to where ads can be put on these videos. So it's a win-win. And you can even avoid the ads that go up on the Anchor versions that go out to all of the other websites that are out there. No ads. It's great. So that's patreon.com/gomer21xx. Howdy, everybody. So this particular segment, I'm going to just keep it kind of light because there are so many other things we could talk about. We didn't even cover all the heavy stuff that's happened since the last episode, but there is one good bright spot, and it involves one of my favorite games, Blaster Master 02. Just came out in the last year, and they released a new DLC. Involves the character of Kana, who, for those who don't know, she is basically a plant woman with huge melons. Both, I mean, like literal melons. Also, her tits are huge. But no, it involves her, and it's basically a Kana growing simulator, where you start out with a little baby Kana in her flower pot head, which sounds really weird when you say it out loud. And you got to go through and you got to get all the power-ups, the bugs, the mutants, and you got to help your Kana grow. And she can grow in all sorts of different ways. I actually spent a good portion of I think it was like an hour on my Monday night stream on the 29th, I think it was, June 29th stream. That first hour is playing through that DLC a little bit, and it was kind of fun. A bit hard to get used to, especially if you want to try and get everything, but if you want to just go and breeze through it a time or two and you're not worried about trying to get different things, then it's fun. It's a fun little time waster. So yeah, there's not much to it, and quite honestly, I needed something for this, otherwise patrons would have absolutely no kind of segment, because it's just this and like the Patreon ad and everything for everybody else. So yeah. But yeah, it's like if you have Blaster Master 02 and you got a couple of bucks to spare, go and grab the DLC. It is worth your time, I think. So yeah, enjoy the rest of the show. Flower! I think I peaked the mic. And we are back from our break. And apparently over the break, Michelle saw a very, very interesting tweet from somebody that she wants to share.
I don't know if interesting is the right word, but I think it should amuse us all.
Okay.
So our friend Erin has just posted on Twitter, in addition to wearing a mask, may I also provide this helpful reminder? And then underneath is a picture of, it looks like a car with like loads of like peppers and spicy things. Mm-hmm. Wash your hands like you just cut habaneros and have to take out your contacts.
There you go.
Yep, that's some good advice.
Very, very good advice. Yeah, during the break, we looked at some things that were trending on Twitter. We saw Joss Whedon is trending because Joss Whedon's an asshole and other people are confirming it. And Stonewall Jackson is trending at the time of this recording, and that's because they're taking down one of his statues. Which, good.
Yes.
They need to go. But what about the people? What about the... No. They are monuments to racist people who fought for racist causes. No. You know, but you're going to forget history. Hey, guess what? We still remember the Nazis, and how much Nazi-type statues are up over in Germany? None!
Exactly.
Nada.
Yeah.
They got rid of all of it.
Yeah. They said, yeah, we want to remember, but we don't want to honor the fucking, we don't want to honor the fucking Nazis. Fuck the Nazis.
Yeah.
No.
That's what they say.
Or don't, break them out.
Yeah, we don't, ugh.
Although, I have to say, sexy uniforms. Hugo Boss did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. So, our first news story for this week is out of Abilene, Texas. The Hardin-Simmons University student behind a deeply disappointing TikTok video is no longer enrolled at the university. In the video posted Tuesday evening, as in Tuesday previous to this, a student wearing an HSU shirt revealed how she thinks people react when a black person kills another black person, or a black person kills a white person, versus when a white person kills a black person. She indicated people do not pay any attention in the first two cases, but get outraged when the suspect is white and the victim is black. University officials said the message shared by the student is not reflective of the Christian values of our institution, and they are actively investigating and taking decisive action. Well, she's no longer a student there. I think we know what action they took. Dr. Eric Bruntmeyer would not reveal what disciplinary steps were taken, citing student privacy, although I'm pretty sure she's going to whine about it on social media, but confirmed the student is no longer enrolled. As citizens, we have certain rights of freedom of speech in public forums, Bruntmeyer said. However, within the HSU community, that right is always linked with our responsibility as Christians, as well as the inherent responsibility for the consequences of our words and our actions. Let me read that again. As citizens, we have certain rights of freedom of speech in public forums. However, within the HSU community, that right is always linked with our responsibilities as Christians, as well as inherent responsibility for the consequences of our words and our actions. Basically, what are you saying here? Yeah, you can say it, but you go face consequences for it. That's basically what I've been saying, what people have been saying for a while. You can say what you want. You can go to the middle of a black neighborhood, yell the N-word all you want, but you're going to face consequences. You get your ass kicked at the very least.
Yeah.
So, Bruntmeyer said several students from various backgrounds told him the video is not reflective of HSU. At Hardin-Simmons, we believe and practice unity through loving our neighbor as ourselves and treating all people equally with profound respect, Bruntmeyer said. Hate speech or racist comments by anyone are completely unacceptable, and we do not want to condone behavior that questions people's worth, their value, their dignity, or their equality. So the video this person posted, I took a look at it, and yeah, it is pretty much what the article is saying. You know, she's saying that nobody really pays attention if it's black on black or black on white. Oh, trust me, people pay attention when it's black on white, believe me, especially in the South. And a white person kills a black person, and people go fucking insane. Here's the thing. It's, with in regards to all of the protests going on now, and the pigs pulling the pig shit, it's not simply a white person killing a black person. That happens a lot. It's not right, obviously, but it still happens a lot. And we should be more outraged by it every time. By just by any murder, honestly. But the reason why people are more outraged now, and why we're focused on this now, is because the spark that set this one off, another cop decided to execute another black person for what white people get away with what, for people like us, we would get away with a slap on the wrist. And all George Floyd did, from what I understand, he just bounced a check. That's my understanding. I think it was
a bum note.
Yeah.
I heard it was a bum note.
Bum note bounce. Either way, it had to do with money that was not really money. Mm. And while, that is against the law if you do it knowingly, sure, you don't need to be executed for it. And you certainly don't need the cops called in on them. You just say, hey, you know what, this is the thing. We're going to hold on to this. If you didn't know, we'll have it. We'll make sure you didn't know and all that shit. You don't need the cops for it. But no, the cops are called, and he was executed. And I'm going to say executed because that's what the cop did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, that's why people are upset when a white person kills a black person, because that cop was white. And because of all of the background of the cops. Remember, cops were put into place in this country because they wanted to try and keep those uppity black people in line. The word they didn't use was black people, but I think you guys get where I was going there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So that's why all the Confederate monuments went up. They wanted to intimidate and show black people, hey, your place will always be beneath us. We gave you your freedom, blah, 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 blah. And And all of this is wrong. That's why the Confederate monuments need to come down. That's why the police needs to be defunded. And we say defund the police. And people who say, well, you want to defund the whole police? Defund them to the point to where they don't have as much power. Because you were always going to need somebody to take on, like, your murderers or your mass shooters or your violent criminals. Of course you are. But you're sending cops out to pretty much everything. And these cops are not taught how to de-escalate. And the ones that have de-escalated, that have made the news, have been fired.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And I know somebody's going to be like, well, not all cops. Maybe not, but too many cops. Enough cops. To the point to where, they say a few bad... Oh, you're just going on about a few bad apples. Well, you forget the rest of that phrase. Few bad apples spoil the bunch. If this bunch has been spoiled, time to eat it.
Yep.
Scully, I'll let you go first on this one. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, I mean, good to see some, a Christian institution actually being Christ-like for once.
Definitely.
Yeah. And yet, that video was just... Okay, yeah, like, alright. Oh, yeah, what about... It's called Whataboutism, and, yeah, basically, fuck that video, and yeah, glad the student got yeeted out of the university.
Yeah. Michelle, what about you?
I haven't seen the video, but again, I don't know if it's my natural atheism or just because of my upbringing, but every time I kind of bristle every time I said that someone says like Christian values and stuff, because it's like, oh god, where's this going? But no, fair play.
Yeah,
they're doing it right. They're like, this goes against what we believe. I would argue that you don't have to call it Christian values. You could just say these go against our code of ethics, our our rules, our regulations. You don't have to bring the religion or a religion into it. But
fair.
They set some rules. She broke them. They followed up.
Yeah,
fair play.
That's what you got to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah.
and to some of the other rant. I'm not going to say not all cops, but I will say in England they are taught de-escalation. And also on the point of like defunding the cops, yes, I agree. From everything I've seen and understood, yes. However, I will agree that maybe the term defund the cops has become somewhat emotive, so maybe change the wording, like, restructure or something else, something that doesn't come across as quite as emotive, and like instantly gets people's hackles up. It's like, oh, what do you mean defund the police? This, if you do this, you can't do that. And like, choose another word, because that word ain't working anymore.
In a way, I can see, but at the same time, it's like we have spent, and just in general, we have spent so many times trying to just dance around certain issues, and I've done it, and I'll probably do it again, before I die. I'm pretty sure, unless I drop dead right after this show.
Please don't.
Which I hope I don't, because still needs to get out, among other things. But at some point, you just need to stop worrying about what people who would otherwise see people that are different than them subjugated or executed or what have you. Stop worrying about what they would say and how they would react, and just do it anyway. That's there comes a point to that.
I'm 100% behind the idea. I just think the conversation's stalling because too many people have got their hackles up about what they think it means.
Yeah. I mean, and there are some people that will listen and say, oh, that's what they mean. Okay. But the others, if they don't want to listen, fuck them. I say, this is one of those cases where I say, keep the language as it is, inform people who really want to know, and if after that there's people who still want to have their cackles up or whatever, then fuck them. We're going on. You can come with us or not, but we're still going. So
Yeah.
it's basically where I'm at there. So our next story comes out of Yellowstone. I lived in Wyoming, but never went to Yellowstone. Really should have, but that's okay. So a bison gored a 72-year-old woman in Yellowstone National Park after she approached within 10 feet of a bison multiple times to take its photo, according to a National Park Service press release. Press release said the incident occurred last Thursday evening at the California Woman's Campsite at Bridge Pay Campground. What? And then it's like Yellowstone, and then California Woman's. Oh, duh. I am good today. Okay. So, anyways, the woman was transported to Eastern Idaho Regional Medical Center via helicopter after rangers provided immediate care on site for multiple goring wounds. No further information about her condition was immediately available. Yeah, for those who don't know, Yellowstone is in the extreme northwest part of Wyoming, right there next to Idaho. So, there's your little geography lesson for those who don't know. A series of events that led to the goring suggest the bison was threatened by being repeatedly approached to within 10 feet, Yellowstone senior bison biologist Chris Garemia said in the press release. Bison are wild animals that respond to threats by displaying aggressive behaviors like pawing the ground, snorting, bobbing their head, bellowing, and raising their tail. If that doesn't make the threat, in this instance it was a person, move away, a threatened bison may charge. Da-da-da-da-da. To be safe around bison, stay at least 25 yards away, move away if they approach, and run away or find cover if they charge. The incident remains under investigation. Yeah. Public service announcement. Don't fuck with bison.
Yeah.
They stay over there, you stay over here. It's scary enough when you're playing around on the Pokemon Sword and Shield, the Isle of Armor thing. You have Wild Buffalant, which are kind of based on bison. You see them coming at you, and they don't just go in a straight line. I'm pretty sure real bison don't go in a straight line either. They will come and they will get you. However, unlike running into a Buffalant in Pokemon, bison will actually gore you, as this woman found out. So I hope she's okay, and I hope she learned her lesson.
Yep.
Don't fuck with the bison. Just don't.
Yeah.
Michelle?
Yeah.
You got thoughts?
I do. Part of me is curious as to what her photos look like, because if you got that close, then they're probably some really nice pictures.
Yeah.
And I hope the camera didn't get too badly damaged, because that's probably expensive as well.
Yeah.
And also, yes, thoughts and positive vibes, and I hope you get better soon, and all that stuff, because that can't be pleasant. But I have to I was giggling a little, and I felt bad about it, but I kind of have to dust off an old meme.
Uh-oh.
So, the bison attacked her. Mm-hmm. Of course!
Yeah. Of course it does. It doesn't know you're trying to do a thing. It thinks you're a threat. But I'm a 72-year-old grandma. It doesn't know that.
Well,
Shit, 72, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Really hope she's alright.
yeah. Bison's like, okay, you harsh my buzz. You're doing this. Just don't do that. It doesn't even know what a grandpa is or a grandma. It doesn't even know what a human is. Well, okay, it knows what a human is, but
Actually, on that, out camping in Yellowstone at 72. Good for you.
yeah. Which, okay, yeah.
You're living your life. You're living your dream.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Like I said, hope you learned your lesson.
Yeah.
Hope you survived and learned your lesson.
Yeah.
Scully, you got any thoughts?
Pretty much what Michelle said, but God, I hope she recovers, but God, don't mess with wild animals.
Yeah.
You'd think she'd know that. She learned that like decades ago, but yeah, don't mess with wild animals.
Yeah.
Hell, I won't even mess with I won't even go up and pet a dog that I don't know.
Yeah.
Much less a wild animal.
Yeah. I will admit I sometimes have cat weakness sometimes, but it's very rare.
Yeah, kitties. I've got a soft spot for kitty cats.
Yeah, like there was this one cat. Like when I was living up in India, I was walking back from the bus or whatever, and I saw this cat just like on just hanging out or whatever. And I tried to coax it to come over, and tried to pet it. It didn't hurt me or anything. It didn't try to attack, but I think I just spooked it. But yeah, that's about the closest I get. You really shouldn't, but But then again, most of your cats or your dogs around here are mostly domesticated, so But so it's a little safer, but still wouldn't recommend it.
I was did a big long walk the other week, and there's like people where I went in the park. There were people walking their dogs, and sometimes the dogs will rush past you. And I like petting dogs, so I will usually slow down or stop. And like if the dog comes up and says hello, or like say hello back, but I don't go around following them. But there was one dog. It was on its lead, and the owner was like no, and then the owner noticed that I had stopped and sort of bent down slightly because it was a little French pug, like a French bulldog or something, really cute. And then the owner said, "Oh, okay, go say hello then." So he rushed up to me. I had a little fuss. Said, "Oh, there's a happy face. There's a happy face." And then the dog sort of trotted off, like tried following me a little bit. Said, "No, I'm going the other way. You go back to your master now." So I give respect to that dog owner for like saying, I'm not gonna let my dog, training the dog to not approach someone unless the person looks like they want to be approached.
Yeah.
So, give credit to that. So I love petting dogs, but I'm not, if the cat and dog doesn't want to come and say hello to me, I'll just walk past it. All right, you have a good day. Wild animals even less so. Like even the squirrels, like I'll try and snap a picture if it's in frame long enough, but I ain't chasing squirrels. Those buggers are fast.
Yeah. No, let the animal, let the dogs and the cats and the birds do that.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, if I was somewhere that I could like see either the bison or something else that was definitely bigger than me, I would try and take a couple of pictures for sure. But then I'd like back away again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well,
only say hello to the animals if the animal wants to say hello to you.
Yes.
Exactly.
Do so from a safe distance. We have Zoom.
Yes.
As in Zoom function on the camera. Not.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Zoom, motherfucker.
Yes. Our next story comes out of Michigan. Southfield. A man who claims he worked for Amazon said he quit on the job and abandoned his delivery truck at a Metro Detroit gas station. Derek Lancaster, 22, made the post on Twitter Monday evening that went viral overnight. He told local news that he was frustrated with the long hours, number of deliveries, and the pay. So he apparently left the truck, keys, and packages at a marathon near 12 Mile and Southfield Road. Not encouraging them to, but if you fed up, you fed up, he said. It was immature and irresponsible on my end, and at the same time, enough is enough. On Tuesday, his tweet had more than 25,000 shares and over 218,000 likes. Lancaster said he works nearly 12-hour shifts to deliver more than 100 packages for $15.50 an hour. So 12-hour shifts. So do a little quick math. You're looking at probably a little less than $200 a day. So that to give you a thing for delivering all of this shit. Tweet has caused some people to have a problem with Lancaster. Well, yeah, some people would. One Twitter user wrote, "I can't imagine how selfish someone has to be to abandon a van full of other people's property. This is not okay." Another user wrote, her daughter, loves the pay, health insurance, and options for overtime. Lancaster said he drew the line after missing his sister's birthday party. "She was real upset with me," Lancaster said. "There is no set schedule." That's also another issue. Amazon has come under fire since the pandemic due to workload complaints and health and safety standards. "This does not reflect the high standards we have for delivery partners," Amazon said in a statement. "We are taking this matter seriously and have investigated the matter and are taking appropriate action." Really, what's your appropriate action? Now, he's a local delivery driver, and considering the fact that he stopped at a marathon, marathons are not necessarily good for like big trucks or whatever. So he's probably one of like the smaller trucks or the vans or whatever, ones that can go in there. So at the very least, it's local shit. So they could just, you could just tell them, okay, hey, come pick up your shit or whatever. And that's fine. With your precautions and everything. Wear your damn masks. So that, it's similar to last week. Like dude At least this dude didn't just like chuck all of these down in a sewer like the last guy from last week did. It's still there. People can still people can still get their stuff. That's fine, you know. It's like, but it's just abandoned, and yeah, some people could come and take it and steal it or whatever. But and there comes a time where, you know, when again the gears in your machine, they get fed up with being gears in your machine. And shit's gonna happen, and sad as it is, sometimes it is gonna inconvenience people at the other end who didn't really do anything. So, you know, that's gonna be just an unfortunate thing. And because of that, if too many of your if too many, let me put it like this. I'd say I'm gonna repeat myself a little bit from earlier. If too many of your workers are unhappy, your business is going to suffer. And no amount of money thrown at the problem, unless it's upping the pay, hiring more workers, you know, because that's one thing you could do. You can hire more workers, because you're fucking Amazon. You're run by Jeff Bezos. You can afford it. Yeah. You know. Yep. But no amount of shaming, no amount of legal trouble you might put them in or what have you, and it's you know, it's not going to fix it without actually taking time to say, okay, let's make it better for our workers so we can be efficient, happy, and make our customers happy too. That's literally what you need to do. So for things like this, it sounds like this guy is running 12-hour shifts because either A, he was pressured into it, or B, they didn't have enough of the local delivery drivers, which both could actually be a thing. And it's like, no, hire more people. If you're going to have this big of a business, hire the personnel to run it. You can hire more people. You should hire more people and pay them more than $15.50 an hour. $15.50 isn't bad compared to the rest of the country. It's not bad. It's a start, but you can do better, and you should do better. You can afford to do better. Do better. And by the way, assuming like a 5-day work week, just doing the thought in my head, it's just maybe probably about $800 a week, which for a weekly check is not bad. You can make similar driving trucks, but still, you're working them to death. You need to your workers really should be alive in order to enjoy that money, because it's not all because it's not going to be always spent on keeping themselves alive. That we need creature comforts too. So I've rambled a bit on that one. Who's got thoughts on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You go first.
Well, a couple of them, and obviously related to Aaron. Not going into numbers. One, because I can't remember, and two, he's not here to say so. But I think the gentleman in the news story is currently on, or was currently on more than Aaron gets. I know he's had a slight pay raise recently, so there's that. Mm-hmm. But Aaron had also told me that recently they had changed their scheduling. So I think he was on like 10-hour shifts, 4 days a week. Now it's switched to 8-hour days. He's had to spread it out to go to 5 days a week. So I think for Aaron, he preferred doing the slightly longer days to have the 3 days off.
Yeah.
But except when he said he's had a longer delivery or more awkward routes, I don't think he's ever... I think when he first started and was still getting used to the systems and everything, he had longer days. But I don't think he's ever said, like, on the regular he has 12-hour days. And just as often, I've had tweets from him saying, hey, guess what? I finished early today. You know, I had a short route, so here we are. I'm home now.
Yeah.
So I don't know this gentleman's thing. I don't know if he's got, like, young children at home. If he has a partner that also works. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Aaron doesn't have the luxury of quitting because he's like basically the only person earning money in his household. His housemate is moving out soon. Like, he had 2 housemates, now he has 1, and they're leaving soon. So he's going to be literally fending for himself again.
Yeah.
So yeah, on the one hand, Aaron can't afford to quit. On the other hand, he's never, apart from like days when he's just had bad days, and said, "You want to talk about it?" Said, "That's just stupid. No one's fault. It's just a stupid day."
Yeah.
I don't. But also, knowing Aaron's character, and not to just besmirch this person, because I'm sure otherwise they're quite a nice person, but again, like I said last week, you got a problem, just take it to your boss and say, "Look, I got a problem." Talk to the people.
Yeah.
If you have already spoken to the person and things haven't gone the way you wanted to, okay, fine. But again, just leave. Don't like dump your stuff. And he did apologise. Because did the guy last week apologise?
I don't remember.
We know for a fact
so.
this guy has apologised. So he gets a point for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, long hours aren't fun. I've had to do some long hours before now, and it is not fun. But if you've got like a birthday party, try and book that day off. Or say, look, I have to finish by this time, give me a shorter route. Sorry. I'm going American. Stop doing that to me. The route.
Yeah.
Just if you're going to quit properly. If you're not happy with the boss's response, then just leave the office. Leave the keys behind. Don't take the van out and leave it in the middle of wherever, and then say, "Hey guys, I've left a truck with the keys in the middle of here. Have that." Because then that's the other thing. So his keys were in the truck, and he told people where he parked it, and assumingly people local to him will know exactly where that is.
Yeah.
Does that then mean if people go to that truck, they are thieves? If they take stuff away or the accessories? Has he just created a whole crime circle?
I mean, if it's going to hurt Amazon's bottom line in the end, sure. I mean, I can support it. I mean, it's sad again. Like I said, it's sad for the people at the user end. You know, the people waiting for their shit. But at the same time, Amazon is going to be on the hook because it's their service that's supposed to provide it, and they failed. The company did fail. Granted, it was because one of the cogs said "fuck you" and just went. But they still failed, so they are still liable as the company. Thus, they have to pay to make sure that's sent out properly. So Amazon
and
is
presumably they'll know, they'll be able to track those orders because they'll have the van number and what have you.
Yeah.
So that's relatively easy.
Yeah. So.
But could you imagine if? Sorry, but could you imagine if you're one of the people that Amazon truck, it's got the keys in, I'm gonna have a rubber. Hey, this is mine.
Now that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just watch, somebody does that, and then they get a call from Amazon like, "Hey, your order was stolen." No, it wasn't. I went and picked it up. That guy posted on Twitter. Oh, okay then.
Or, and this is not. I'm not saying you should do this. But if you happen across your own package, and it's something like if it's a movie or a book or something, you don't need 2 copies of that.
Yeah.
But if it's like I don't know, batteries or a dry store food or diapers, nappies, if it's something that you're gonna want to replace at some point that will hold. Oh no, my things got stolen. Oh yes, I would love a replacement. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And of course, we could never condone doing this at all.
We would never ever encourage
all.
that.
Except we totally are. Do it. Scully, what do you have to say about this?
I'm pretty sure you summed it up, but I'd also like to add, okay, Amazon, if you don't want people doing that shit, how about you treat your workers better?
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to specify, Aaron's actually one of the subcontract people who's not direct Amazon.
Right.
So I'm not sure if that makes a difference to his sort of work life or, the way he's treated or his monies.
Yeah.
But yeah. Just to throw that clarification in.
Yeah. I mean, and granted, there are a lot of the truck drivers that drive like the long, the long distance loads between Amazon warehouses. But, they tell you to get there at a certain time, and they make you wait for hours because OMFG, the load is not ready. But that's a whole different.
Oh yeah, he said that one before.
Yeah, So he knows my pain.
Or speaking on the user end, like your package will be delivered. I swear this actually happened to me. Your package will be delivered. I think it was between, let's say, 5 and 7. 5 to 7 comes along. Your package will be delivered between 7 and 10. Like, what the fuck? Where the hell is it? And who's delivering that late at night?
Yeah. I mean, and with driving, things do happen, and sometimes you have to
I know.
push it out. But other than that, it's just. Ugh. Oh, and
The worst one I had, and this wasn't. Sorry.
Go ahead.
The worst one I had, and this wasn't actually Amazon, it was Yodel. I don't know if you have the Yodel over there, but it was my new phone, and I was getting a free gift tablet. And I was working with the local council at the time, and they knew I was expecting the delivery between these times. So they said, okay, you go tidy up the area in front of your building so you can wait for your package, because my partner would have been in bed at that time.
Yeah.
I was outside, tidying up, looking out both entries. There's 2 entries, so I was looking at both entries, checking my phone, watching the dot get closer and closer and closer, and then watching it get further and further and further away.
Uh-oh.
Nothing on the roads. And then getting a text saying, we couldn't deliver, nobody was home. I'm like, bullshit, was nobody home. I was outside waiting for you.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh.
So yeah, that happened.
Yeah? Oh.
But again, not Amazon.
Yeah.
Different company.
Right. So our final story, this one is just silly and kind of hilarious. So, out of Kawartha Lakes, I think it's.
Did you get the one I sent you then?
I'm not sure which one you sent me. Oh, the. Oh, we'll take a look at that after this one.
Okay.
But customers at the Canadian Tire store in Lindsay left empty-handed this morning. Kawartha 411 News has learned that every item scanned this morning was coming up as Mr. Potato Head and could not be changed. No sales were being made, and customers were forced to leave empty-handed, according to witnesses. This was an anomaly that occurred this morning at only at our Lindsay and Whitby stores. A point-of-sale downloading error caused item names to appear incorrectly. However, item prices and item numbers were registering correctly. This has since been corrected, and the stores are operating normally. Kathy Kurzbach, Communications Canadian Tire, told Kawartha 4011. Glitch affected 5 stores, according to the head office. That is just... How do you do that? And also, how bad is it that you can't complete a sale? Like, you couldn't just like take. Well, if they're not using cash, I guess that's a whole nother thing. But because it's like you could at least find a workaround so they can have their items, man. I mean, but that's a nitpicky thing on my end. This was just a weird little thing that happened. Is just all of a sudden everything's Mr. Potato Head. Okay.
I have questions. Is that the whole thing then?
That is the whole thing.
I have questions.
That is the whole thing.
So, sorry, Scully, I know it's your turn to go first, but I have questions. I can understand if, say, a department store or more specifically a toy shop had things registering as Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah.
Why would a tyre specialist... Now, if it said Goodyear 52 or whatever a Goodyear make is, that would make sense because that is a type of tyre.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, there is no type of tyre, and granted I'm not a driver, but there is no type of tyre that is named after any type of tuber.
No.
And I'm using the technical term for a potato.
Wow. Sorry about that. I was trying to stop a coughing fit from happening. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Oh, are you okay, Han? You alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I think I'm good. Turns out laughter's an asthma trigger for me for some reason.
Oh no.
Yeah, I had a really bad one. I saw some really hilarious video, started laughing, and next thing you know, just hacking my lungs up. I was afraid that was going to happen because friggin' Mr. Potato Head. I mean, for some reason that is just hilarious to me. Even that, I know it's Toy Story, but the name Mr. Potato Head is just hilarious to me for some reason.
It is.
Just everything's coming up, Mr. Potato Head. Reminds me of the time when for an April Fool's joke, I changed everyone's username to Beans in a Discord server. Just Beans. Yeah. It was a small server, so yeah.
But that is you as a person for a joke doing a deliberate thing.
Yeah.
How did this happen?
No clue. Yeah.
Someone must have hacked something. There's no way that just happened. Like I said, it's not even something they have it on inventory. And I mean, would a tire place sell snacks, or would that just be a vending machine thing? Like, oh, you want to wait while we change your tire here? There's a vending machine over there. Go help yourself. They wouldn't necessarily have like counter snacks, would they?
Not usually.
No. So there's not even like any kind of Lay's or whatever they have in Canada, because I know Lay's is Walker in the UK, but I'm not sure about Canadian chips or crisps. If it was something else they had in stock, I would understand. I do not believe a tyre company would have any reason, even promotionally, because even if you're saying some kind of Toy Story promotion, we're well out of that cycle now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when did Toy Story... Wait, when did the last Toy Story movie come out?
It was like earlier last year, so even then, for a promotional cycle, it should be well past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way that wasn't someone playing a joke. That is totally what happened, probably.
It has to be. It has to be.
And you know what? Kudos to them.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
So this story
you nearly killed Scully, but we'll forgive you.
Yeah. So this story, Michelle pointed out, is sitting in our green room rather.
Oh.
Stevenage's COVID the Cobra at 3,500 stones and still growing will be preserved.
Stevenage.
Stevenage?
It's just one word. Stevenage.
Yes.
Okay. So the brightly colored snake.
If you want to be posh, Saint Evenage.
Saint Evenage.
That's Saint Evenage.
Whoa.
The brightly colored snake on Stevenage's Graceway cycle path was started by Mum Dawn Parnell and her children Eddie, 10, and Owen, 5, and people of all ages have been adding their own uniquely decorated stones. Dawn said, "We never imagined he would grow so long. When we started him, we hoped he may have reached 1,000 stones. Never did we imagine he would reach more than 3,500, and he's still growing." There's more to the article. I just wanted to kind of go over the basics of it, but yeah, they started this thing. They started putting down little stones, just little things here, just a little happy place, and people have been adding to it, and that's pretty cool. So this is the kind of stuff you turn into monuments right here.
Yeah,
that's what they're saying. This is what the article's actually. If you go further down, they're saying about not necessarily on the street, because where it is on the street is like literally next to the path. So do you guys have this where you like take flat stones and paint them, decorate them, and leave them randomly around everywhere?
Not that I see.
Oh, so basically that's the idea. You get a stone, you paint it. Usually you put like a little if you find me, take a picture, and then hide me again. So like that, like maybe a Twitter address or a hashtag, so you can people can find it. And and people have just been decorating the stones and leave them everywhere. And this is what sort of started that. These boys put the stones down. But yeah, they are talking about not leaving them where they are, because they're right on the grass verge next to the path, so they could get damaged or thing. Yeah. But yeah, they're talking about either either in the local play centre, like near the local playgrounds, or on one of the underpasses, like making them into a mural or something, like to preserve them. I've seen people of all ages place painted stones. One lady, who is 89, stopped to thank me for giving her a reason to make sure she goes on her daily walk.
There you go.
Stevenage Borough Council is set to preserve COVID the Cobra in asking the public's help in choosing its final resting place, with Dawn hopeful it could remain close to where it started.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen it myself yet, but basically it's kind of just around the corner and down the road from where I am. Now, Graceway is a very long road. Right. So if it's near the main junction, then it shouldn't be too hard for me to visit. If it's further up, then no hope, because it's a long, long road. Councillor Richard Henry, executive member for Children, Young People, Leisure and Culture, said, "I'm delighted to see yet another example of the young people of Stevenage coming together to create an amazing artwork during this difficult time." I think that's referring to like the rainbows that people are putting on the windows to thank the NHS.
Yeah.
Cobra the Cobra will be preserved so it can be shared with the residents and visitors to tell the tale of the great way we kept spirits high during the coronavirus lockdown. There are several ways to do this, but the priority is to make sure the pictures and the paintings do not wash off the 3,000 plus stones advert. Our team is looking to turn the stones into an art installation in one of our underpasses or on a wall near Graceway, or placing Cobra the Cobra in Pingreen's Play Centre for the children to enjoy.
Yeah.
And basically a bit more about, once to give Stevenage, the people of Stevenage, a bit more colour and praise. So yeah, I just saw that. I thought, we've got to have a nice story.
Yeah.
Especially since my town is chaftastic.
Yeah.
And basically, you can vote for options on the Facebook or the Twitter accounts.
Yeah.
The underpasses would be nice, because then they'll be protected from the rain as well.
There you go. So yeah, that is a good feel good story to end this on. And
does anyone have any thoughts?
I mean, I think I've put my thoughts out there. It's good.
Yeah. Cute rock cobra.
I will. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might, if I go out for my walk tomorrow, depending on the weather, I might go and see if I can find it. If it's like I said, if it's not too far down the road, then I'll take some pictures and share them. Well, at the very least, I'll be able to share them with Gomer and Scully. Whether or not he finds a way to post them to everyone, I don't know. But yeah, no. I'll do check him out, because it sounds like fun.
Yay!
It does sound like cute. And also, just painting stones and hiding them everywhere, it's a good hobby. It's like we've been doing in this country for a while now, and I didn't know it hadn't spread. So
yeah.
Go paint stones.
Oh God, you try that over in this country. Some people might be like, "What is that? That looks so weird." Then you get everybody over, and because it's like the Moonanites. What was it, back 2007? I think it was, in Boston or whatever.
Oh,
you had the little light up, like the bright light Moonanites on bridges or whatever, and people of Boston just lost their shit.
Oh God, I remember
that was
that
funny.
shit.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
It's like, really, guys? If they're gonna plant a bomb, they're gonna make it not conspicuous, you idiots.
Yeah.
Oh, so with that, we are gonna get out of here for this week. For right now, because of time constraints, because we are recording this also on a night where I normally stream, I'm not gonna worry about the curtain call, so I can get this edited and get this up for patrons at least by the time the stream goes live tonight. So that's gonna be a thing. And I've also got to go and get more water from the store. Because I'm on my last bottle of water.
Stay hydrated.
Yes, definitely. So yeah, and apologies for the last curtain call coming up like the day before the day of the podcast was supposed to be recorded. Oops. But yeah. So yeah, no curtain call for this week. So the next one will be after the next episode, just because of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and pop out of here. So Scully, if we wanted to find you, where could we find you?
You can find me Scolipendra on Twitter, or Scolipendra91 on Tumblr.
Sweet. And Michelle, what about you? Where can we find you?
You can find me on both YouTube and Twitter at Phoenix11, PHEONIX11. Still just doing unboxings. Gonna try and get back into the habit of reviews. We found out our local cinema's not opening now till the end of this month, so in-car reviews are going to be a little longer, but I should get off my arse and do more at-home reviews. But definitely unboxings and other stuff that you want to go through the back catalogue. That'd be nice.
There you go.
But yeah, so yeah, find me there.
Yeah. As for me, all of my links can be found in the link tree in the doobly-doo. That's linktr.ee/Gomer21XX, and it's going to have all the links to the Twitch, to my social medias, to Patreon, to the Anchor support. That also, if you want to give money that way, you can, and it would be very much appreciated, not just financially, but also other ways too. So, but yeah, that's about it. I don't have as big of a spiel now. Holy shit. But I do want to push the Twitch a little bit more, because I am doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 to 9 p.m. Central Time. and I try to have some theme nights. Normally the Wednesday one would have the premiere of the new episode of Thespian Talk, but considering we're recording on the same night, that's not going to happen. Because I am adamant about patrons getting the chance to listen to it first. So so it's not going to be that, at least not for this week. So for y'all, by the time you guys, the public, are listening to this, you'll have already known what I was doing. So, but Fridays I'm doing a Pokemon Shield playthrough, just regular playthrough at this point, just for the hell of it. And Monday nights tend to be more retro style nights. So those are fun. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Take care, and until next time, this is Gomer the Ranting Thespian with Scolipendra and Michelle, signing off.
Bye-bye.
Later.